Alright, everyone. Let's just put this up there and...
Oh, I forgot to grab the new microphone.
Yeah, I did.
You did. It's going to be a minute before it goes on yet, but it'll be just a second, you guys. Gotta grab our new mic, which was awesome last time.
That way everyone can hear.
Yeah, that would be really, really handy to have everyone hearing. Hello, whoever signed in first. We're grabbing our microphone. We have not hooked it in yet, so give us 1 second. Hello, hello, hello. Let me also post this over to the Discord real quick. Bear with me while we do that. And we've got... There we go. All right, guys.
Can you hear me?
Can you still hear us? Can you hear us good?
Or bad?
Alright, let me move my chat over so I can actually read. Hello, Finn the Fish, Cthulhu 101, Emily, hello, sexy Emily. I may need to move the camera now that you've plugged it. That everybody for now, yes. Are we ever going to stream Dark Souls 3? That's a good question, but that is probably going to be for someone like Show loves Dark Souls, but he kind of got burnt out trying to do so like involved while he was trying to chat and stuff at the same time. So it may be like a let's stream type thing,
DOA.
maybe. Hey, DOA. We're gonna let a couple people more join before we get into our very cool question of the night. I also have a list to go with it as usual, so that we have some things to talk about.
Yep.
Correct your rooks.
Yeah.
Oh, Maisie, hello.
I think I am.
Love
hey, Maisie.
you.
Love your face.
Yeah, love your face, you guys. Then the fish says, I know the best nightmare fuel. Insert the deadest memes here. Okay. We actually have a good question to go for nightmare fuel. Maisie loves our faces more. Okay, we'll let you have that one this time. Nice face, fish. Look at this. That's actually a good one.
It was.
All right, we actually have a great question. I'm gonna let Rooks pose it to you guys because it was his idea for tonight. So,
As a kid, what horror movie scared the living shit out of you?
like something that made it so you did not want to go to sleep.
Yeah,
Or that you
pretty
had to
much.
sleep with the lights on, or that you had nightmares for more than one night.
That's why it's titled Nightmare Fuel, because you have like
Hey,
bad
Renaissance.
dreams. What's up?
So since you just joined Renaissance, the question is, what was your nightmare fuel as a kid for movies? What movies did you see as a kid that was like, oh shit, I wish I had not watched that? Whatever you guys start off. Creep Show, that was a good one.
Creepshow was a good movie. Wasn't really creepy from my opinion.
He's pretty hard to impress though. He's got a couple that he'll tell you his answer in a little bit. But
It was more visceral. Like when you see the guy coming up out of the grave and like, I want my cake. It's like more visceral, along with like Stephen King when he had the thing on his tongue. Visceral, more visual than like
a mental
psychological
stimulus thing. Yeah. He also said, or Poltergeist.
Yeah.
That was one for him. That's a good one.
For me, well, growing up, Poltergeist scared the living shit out of me. There's a two-part thing to this. Number one, my family sees shit. So when I was watching this movie, I saw stuff like later on, things that are not in this plane.
That kind of made him
so it was really creepy.
To the kids in that movie.
And I didn't have a little like creepy fucking clown that's in the movie, but I did have like a very extendable monkey, which I tied up. Yeah.
Arms. Ugh.
I tied up into knots because I was scared as shit that he was gonna like grab me under the bed like the movie.
All right.
Keep in mind, I was like 6 at this time.
We gotta keep up with them as they list them. So Finn the Fish said he never wanted to watch Monster House and Bloody Ones. I remember Monster House. That was like more. It wasn't as scary as I thought it was gonna be. It was just more like not wanting to watch it, I guess. But yeah, and then Renaissance agreed the clown from it.
Yeah.
Arachnophobia, that was pretty good, DOA. I didn't watch that for a long time because I was bit by a brown recluse as I was a child. and we didn't know that I was bit by a spider initially. So I went a couple of days with this spider bite like festering, and I had to go to the hospital and have it cut out and stuff. So I mean, I was little. I was like 8 years old, and I was too young when Arachnophobia came out, but I had it in the house. My parents had watched it and videotaped it on a VHS. And I finally watched it, but I did not like that one either. That's how I wanted to run when family wanted to watch it. Yeah. The Woman in Black scared the shit out of me, and so did Oculus. Oh yeah, the one about the mirror that the kid.
Oculus was fucked up when she bit into the apple and thought it was an apple, but it was actually a light bulb.
Like a light bulb, yeah. It was the glass. That was.
Apart from the rest of it, I mean, it wasn't really that scary.
To me, it was scary because it was mentally like the way that you think.
Reality is.
Yeah, because you see and you feel.
Reality
and you
is a fucking illusion.
But how creepy would it be to feel like you're in this reality and actually doing completely other things? That's scary for Oculus. I agree. Shondo says he looks good as a clown. Hello, Shondo. The Ring. I think that The Ring was great. I've got a great story about that one for you guys. But Ringu was great. The Ring. Rooks came out to Arizona and stayed with me instead of going home back to New York after his vacation. And about the second week he was out here, we watched The Ring together in my bedroom on DVD. And I was a little creeped out afterwards, you know. It's a scary movie. We had the lights off. That's great, whatever. I'm going to the bathroom in my apartment, which is like, I can see the bed from my bathroom, and I would not go into the bathroom to piss with the door closed because I was scared as shit. So I pissed with the door open, and Rooks is laying on the bed, relaxing, trying to comfort me, making me feel better.
Pause. Fuck you, punk emo.
Oh, and he hooks his foot on the end of the bed, but all I see is him relaxing, smiling, and trying to comfort me. And then his arms flail out, and he's pulled off the bed, and I start screaming as I'm pissing on the fucking toilet.
It was fucked up. I'm a shitty person.
He only had about 2 seconds of silence that he could control before he started cracking the fuck up. But that was a great one, and it was fucked up. Lil Snowflake says, "Roar, I'm nightmare fuel." Ran no little took TV out of my room when he watched The Ring. Maisie, is that it? Yeah. Still can't watch it since haven't seen it in ages. Yeah, I agree, DOA. That's, I think, for Arachnophobia. Hold on, I scrolled down too far. Guess it could be a classic. Someone with the Blair Witches Project. The Blair Witch Project.
She's got a story for that.
That one too. When I went to go see that in the theater, it was before everybody realized it was just a movie. This is when the news was promoting it as maybe actual found footage. This was before found footage movies was a thing. And the Sci-Fi Channel was putting it out as a real thing. This is before the actors showed back up. I just saw it that one day, and
it got scammed.
Turned up into the theater. So me and my ex-husband go. We watch it at night. So by the time we get out, it's dark. I have to walk all the way to my car. I'm freaked out after the Blair Witch Project. If you had seen that before all these other movies had come out, it was freaky. Now it's a little cheesy. But
question.
What?
Do you remember when I made you go to the remake of Dawn of the Dead?
Yes.
And how, like, I messed with you a little bit beforehand and afterhand, but I'm like, oh, this is, like, totally not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, but it was that movie that I said from then on, if we were going to go see a horror movie together, it has to be during the day. That way I have time to decompress afterwards before having to go to bed. It's all his fault. Renaissance says, Maisie, like, look of it, etc. Shot of first girl who died in the closet. Oh, yeah. Hated Child's Play. Now he loves it from DOA.
Oh, yeah.
Child's Play was a pretty good one.
That was a really good one.
Shonda wants to hear you sing Monster Mash. Here's Johnny. Okay, Oculus. I got another vote.
That's what, like, flipped off Punk Emo.
Yeah.
See, it was so scary. Dumb Mash. Dumb Monster, Dumb Mash. It is Dumb Mash.
Don't watch movies anymore. I don't know why. They always make you bored. Okay, well, that's fair. All right.
I love movies.
Rooks weirdly looks like a Shondo doppelganger, DOA says. Minus the beard. Well, he usually had a beard. He used to have really long hair. Excuse me.
You seen pictures
that was braided.
of me before? If I squint my eye, go like this, I look like fucking Rob Zombie.
Yeah.
I have pictures to prove it.
DOA says it's not quite horror, but the one about Salem witch trials, that was a good one as well. It was kind of more of a mental like freak out, like if you were accused of being a witch. And
I didn't like Rob Zombie's Halloween, but I did like his Salem movie. What was the name of that?
Sorry, what?
The Rob Zombie's Salem movie.
I don't know.
There was like Salem 66 or something like that.
I don't remember. Like I said,
it had Sherry Moonfry in it.
Yeah, I know, but I don't remember it.
That was fucked. That movie's just like plays with their head.
In.
Sup, T-Belly is in the building.
Jay says Dawn of the Dead remake is probably his favorite zombie movie.
Nah, I don't think so.
Yes,
28
right.
Days
Everybody
Later.
Make sure to like and subscribe if you're visiting.
28 Days Later is better than that one.
Toy Story. Toy Story's not scary. Come on now.
Yeah, seriously.
Rourke's Scene Thriller.
No.
The Ritual from Maisie. She watched it 3 months ago. She still gets creeped out.
The Ritual wasn't that scary. It really wasn't. We said
it depends on how you watch it.
It does.
Like the original Paranormal.
Shondo and Show were talking about it, and we watched it like the next night. And I was like,
yeah,
this is kind of weird.
The Haunting. This is from the list that I pulled up. If you guys have more, I will keep checking back and forth. But we have a list of movies that you wish you hadn't watched, and some of them we agree with, and some of them we don't. But you guys can kind of go with them. The Haunting from '63, the old one, is on here.
No.
Repulsion from '65.
No.
Rosemary's Baby was more of a mental creep, not like a visual horror.
Well, that was before horror was a thing.
Yeah.
Same with The Exorcist.
The Exorcist. You want to tell them about that one?
No.
That was one that he actually found creepy as a kid. He didn't find many that way. Oh, The Omen.
The Omen.
The Omen from
The
76.
old one for The Omen is way more creepier than the new one. So check the old one out, because the little kid's just like a little bastard. He's like, meh.
Yeah, and this was before,
horror was a thing.
And before kids were as messed up and accessible to media and stuff as they are now.
Yeah, way more.
So it was creepier than it is now. Let me make sure we haven't missed anybody yet. T-Belly, I did greet. Hi, call Denir Ziki, or I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Let me see. Remember the movie from '06 about Lucifer? Which one was it? I don't remember. The Chernobyl Diaries. That was a good one, because they go into the buildings.
Creepy.
They find the
because of all the radioactive stuff.
Because it's probably something that could actually happen in real life. So you imagine things that, like Chernobyl. There's been these horrible events in the world, and you have no idea what all that radioactivity
that
can do
just
to
leads
somebody.
into my latest purchase, which is
Look what he bought.
the Toxic Avenger series.
Yes. Unfortunately,
B-movie classics at its finest.
We got this at Half Price Books, so it's missing the animated series from it, but it does have 1 through 4, all of the Toxic Avenger movies in it, from Troma. I haven't seen them yet, so that's why you want to get it, share it with me. Kind of fun.
Troma rocks. Right now,
I like Troma.
Magnet Films is the new Troma.
Yeah.
They did Red Dead Snow. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out.
Funny.
They have a sequel, which is Red Dead Snow 2, and it's brutal, bloody, campy and fun. Zombievers.
Oh yeah.
Remember that one?
That was great. Teeth.
That wasn't Magnet.
I know, but that reminds me of the movie Teeth. You guys have to see that if you haven't seen it.
VHS was Magnet. VHS 2 was Magnet. VHS 2 was kind of shitty. ABC's Death, the first one, it's like very close to not being okay, but it was okay. ABC's 2 was more funny than it was like campy or anything else.
Renaissance says he enjoys more psychologically creepy movies, and The Shining is his favorite for something like that. So that we agree.
Yeah, Shining is a good movie. It's just
DOA is talking about a movie that was released on June 6th of '06. I would need time to look it up real quick, but maybe someone can post it.
As good as the book is.
The anime Death Note was put into a movie.
Yeah, it was.
You know
fucking
what?
Sucked.
No. Finn the Fish said, if the anime Death Note was a movie, I could see it possibly be a horror movie. It was already made into a live-action movie, dude.
on Netflix.
On Netflix. Go look.
It sucks.
No, I agree that they did the best they could.
They did the best they could,
with
but
the CG and everything, the way that the story was. But it is a movie. Go watch, see what you like for what the parts of the story that they did put in, the parts that they had to leave out, that kind of thing.
all the live action that they're doing right now for anime sucks.
Yeah.
Bleach was okay.
Bleach was great for a live action.
Rukia sucked.
Rukia was not what I expected. Her hair was not right. Her expressions were not right. But everybody else was pretty spot on.
Byakuya sucked too.
Okay, well, I'm saying like for the visuals and stuff like that,
Well, yeah. Well, he still sucked.
Okay, the way he acted was not.
The way he
anticipated that
acted
way.
was like in line with it, but in my opinion, the best person out of that movie was Renji.
Renji was great. He was very close to the character.
He was really close.
Okay. For The Shining, for the book and the movie, I agree. They are completely separate organisms. They are completely different because of the way they had to modify it to put it on screen. The movie is genius for what it is, and the book is genius for what it is.
Yeah.
Both of them are enjoyed for different reasons for me. The next one on this list was Suspiria from '77. Now, he's seen it, I have not, so I don't have any comments on that one. The original Halloween, the original Alien, The Shining was on this list as number 9 of movies you wish you hadn't watched. Poltergeist from the year I was born.
Fuck that movie.
The original Nightmare on Elm Street.
You know what
From
the
84.
best part of Nightmare on Elm Street was?
What?
When Johnny Depp is laying back and relaxing, and Freddy's claws come up and pull him down, and it's just torrential blood
Yeah,
everywhere.
everywhere.
Best part of the fucking movie. And that was before he was popular, so it was just like,
Yeah, that was
holy
just
shit, what
he
the
was
fuck
just a
just happened?
character at that
Yeah.
point. He had Edward Scissorhands, but nothing else at that
Yeah.
point. Pet Cemetery was.
That was really not even that scary.
It was more of a mental thing, like if your pets came back, blah blah blah. I think the book, if you guys have not read Pet Cemetery, I think the book is a lot better. Candyman creeps shit out of me.
Candyman.
Stop saying it. We have mirrors in here. Okay, Funny Games. I
That was fucked.
don't
you-
remember it.
You need to sit and watch it with me.
Okay, The Blair Witch Project is also on this list. The Others from 2001.
That's really not that scary.
Yeah.
That's the one
let's
with
see what else we got.
Nicole Kidman, and they realize that they're living as ghosts outside of the realm.
Right. Oh
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, that's right.
It really wasn't that scary.
Maisie says La Forest. Oh, Small Soldiers. Yeah, that's pretty
Small
good.
Soldiers was a good movie
Not horror though.
for what it was.
Right.
I mean, it was entertaining and whatnot.
Maisie says that La Forest is in French, but we love foreign movies. I don't care.
Okay, Teresa's.
Hello, Riley.
If you haven't seen it, a very fucked up movie.
It was The Omen from 06. Okay, that on 6606, but that was the remake.
Yeah.
So The Omen was way before that.
You know what else is a good one that doesn't get any like play? Rest Stop.
Oh yeah, that was a
Rest
pretty
Stop
bad
is
one.
fucked.
Because it was one of the first of that kind. DOA is watching Nightmare on Elm Street 2 right now. Let's see what the other ones on this list are. After the others is Ju-On the Grudge from 2002.
We watched that. That was really fucking creepy.
The original The Ring, but not...
Ringo was better.
Yeah, The Ring is great for a American film. If you guys liked The Ring and you thought it was creepy, go watch Ringu. It's the Japanese film that The Ring is based on, and it's way creepier. It's
And after you watch that,
different.
find The Ring Virus.
Oh yeah,
Much more in
it's more in
detail.
today's, yeah, and it's got the details behind how it happened and what was going on. 28 Days Later
That was a good
is on
one.
this list. I agree. We saw that one. A Tale of Two Sisters from 03. I did not see that yet. The Descent.
That's a good movie. If you haven't seen
is.
it, you need to look it up.
And there's
The
a sequel
Descent.
now.
There's 2 of them.
Yeah, there's a sequel.
So, all girl, you know.
House of Wax. That's good.
Yeah. All girl, we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this. We go down into a deep hole. We don't know where it leads to. Oh, there's like a fucking zombie, like feral fucking creatures that have lived down there
Right.
for years.
And you only get little glimpses at first, so it's great. It's cerebral and stimulating and different. The Hills Have Eyes. Beefy says that one. That was pretty good for its genre, but that was
No,
around.
it's been remade already.
Yeah.
The original was Wes Craven.
Right, and then that was still around the time of House of a Thousand Corpses, which did it better with that creepy like visual thing. So it was kind of like a toss up between those kinds.
Yeah, well, it
Then
did
we had
have
Silent Hill, is mentioned
Silent Hill.
at the time it came out, was great.
When it came out was good, but if you go back and find the fan like re-edit of it, it actually makes more sense.
Yeah.
So it's actually better. I have a copy of it here, but
The next one on the list is Record, but it's listed as Rec, R-E-C, from 2007.
yeah, the French
The original,
one
the French one,
was better than the American one.
freaking great in the French one. It was very creepy. The Orphanage from 07 as well.
That wasn't that creepy.
I'm just telling you what's on the list. Paranormal Activity, the original one. I watched it with Rooks in our bedroom, and it was creepy the first time that anything like that came out, before like VHS and other kinds of things. Paranormal Activity was one of the first ones that we watched together
That was
before it
found
became overdone.
footage.
Yeah,
type
that,
thing.
oh, they're missing, what's going on, and oh, look what we found, and this is what happened in their house. It was creepy for us at that point, but then they overdid it with 2, 3, 4, however many
Well,
they've
they
got.
overdid it with like every fucking thing in the world.
Yeah,
There's-
because it's now
Oh,
they've
this
done
is
it, it's
popular.
no longer creepy. So
Let's now flood the market with everything that's
Yeah.
like this.
Now then, The Strangers from 08.
I haven't watched that.
Neither have I. The House of the Devil from 09. I think I saw parts
Bits
of
and
it,
pieces,
but
yeah.
Insidious, I thought was pretty creepy because of the visuals with the faces and stuff like that, but he didn't find it as creepy.
I laughed.
I always find those like really bad. Like, what was that one? House on Haunted Hill, or what was the one? It's got the big like
It was House on Haunted Hill.
House on Haunted Hill,
The remake.
the remake of Vincent Price movie, whatever. They go into the basement at some point where there's like all these like
And you got the people that like
passages, and there's
shift.
cameras set up, and then like one of the creepy ghost doctor things is like
Doctor
coming
shifts.
at the camera, and he's like,
yeah.
you know, coming towards it, and it's got that like cuts where it's just clipped toward. Ugh. Those visuals are what creep me out more than jump scares, more than some of the really good like physical 3D effects, not like CG effects. That kind of stuff doesn't get me. But when someone actually makes a good mask or something, stop. The Last Exorcism from 2010.
Didn't watch that.
The Crazies
Didn't
from
watch that.
2010.
I heard about that. I almost got the
Riley.
French version of it.
How come you don't know any old movies? Because you were 16 years old and you don't know any of these yet. You need to explore the lists of things that are either best movies of all time, best horror movies of all time, best B movies of all time, best campy movies of all time, because not all B movies are campy.
That's true.
So it's like different. You need to find those lists and go back and watch all those classics so that you know where these things came from today, where things have been inspired from, that kind of thing.
Are you done?
The Possession, The Orphan.
You done?
Yeah.
Okay. Viewers here.
Oh no, I'm not done with the list. I have
Well,
a couple more.
I mean, like for right now.
Oh yeah.
Most creepy, best favorite horror movie.
Not just as a kid, but like
All
time.
around.
Maisie says Mama still scares me. We saw that on a different list that I'm not going through right now, and I think it looks really messed up. I want to see it, but I haven't seen it yet. So Maisie, you've got that. Cujo was a great one.
I actually had a dog named Cujo.
Yeah, he purposely named it Cujo. I think I missed a couple here. What's the film about the rabid dog trying to kill? Oh yeah, Cujo. Okay. Unbreakable.
Nah,
Eh. Exorcism of Emily Rose is pretty good. It's pretty good.
nah.
Remember the film that Stephen King wrote? Oh, that was Cujo again. Okay, I'm going backwards, trying to make sure I didn't miss anything. So, The Shining, yes, is definitely in there. Friday the 13th. You're ready to sleep right after watching it for Mama. I'm kind of worried about that one. Riley says, when I was a care of Child Protective Services, once there was a dog named Cujo. It depends on the personality of the dog, though, Riley. You could have an amazing dog named Cujo. His dog was a mix. She was amazing with people that she knew, but she was a big dog, and she was very protective dog. So if she didn't
Scared
know
the
you,
shit
her
out of
teeth
her.
could just rip you apart.
When we showed up in New York City at my mom's house with the dog barking, she hid behind me.
I've
when I
been afraid
opened
of
the
big
door.
dogs anyway.
I opened the door and was like, shut the fuck up. And she's
And
like,
she went and sat down with her little tail wagging, and she was good. She's very obedient, and she hadn't seen him in a couple months, and she was.
it was like a year. She was Rottweiler and Pitbull
Well,
mix.
it was 7 months.
It was like almost
Okay.
a year.
Someone says Child's Play 2.
Eh.
Fuck Google is in. Hello. Where's Nightmare Fuel's PC and SJW culture? Well, the question, though, is what are your favorite horror movies of all time? The first question was about, as a kid, like, what gave you nightmares? But
Nightmare
now we're
Fuel.
moved on to, like, any kind of Nightmare Fuel as far as horror movies go, since we're in October. We want to know what your best ones are. And we're going through another list here, too. We just went through The Crazies. Sinister from 2012. That's okay. The visuals for me were the more scary ones. The Babadook. That creeped the crap out of me. If you guys haven't seen it, watch it. And It Follows. That's the last one on
It
this
Follows was a good movie. It broke all the molds for horror movies with having different people end up being this person that follows somebody around to consume them. So that was a good one.
Riley says that Cujo was a Chihuahua. Why don't you entertain them and talk to them? I'll be right back.
Okay.
Don't tell why I'm going.
Cujo was not a Chihuahua. Cujo originally was a Saint Bernard dog that was infected by rabies. How do I know that? Because I read the book. And now we move Ray's computer so I can see. I can't see Sinister anymore. That messed me up. I couldn't even sleep for days. That movie is messed up. I don't recommend anyone seeing that. Oh, Maisie. We have such sights to show you. This was decent.
Okay, guys. Hi.
That's Chihuahua.
This is a Chihuahua.
That was
He's
not-
actually almost a miniature. He is now almost 8 pounds. Say hi. This is Peppy. He's our dog. He doesn't usually come in this area of the house because he stays in the living room area. And he's really old now. He's got some arthritis issues, joint issues, but when Riley said that Cujo that he knew when he was in protective services was a Chihuahua, this was just the perfect time to introduce him. So he's good until the doorbell rings or something, then he's trying to be an ankle biter. But
Pretty much.
he's amazing. We love him. He actually loves Rooks the most, so. All right, I'm gonna pass him off. Thank you. Okay. I had to pass him off. Pepe Le Pew. Renaissance is actually P-E-P-E. Like
The third.
the third. Yeah, the first 2 dogs were P-E-P-I, spelled as like Pepe, like Mexican name. So because he's a little Mexican dog, my mom thought it was funny and named him Pepe. Originally, that one died about 30 years ago or so. Dog saliva.
Yeah.
Smell like dog food.
No, it smells like bad dog breath.
And then the other one died about 12 years ago. And this one's about 10 and a half, almost 11 years old now.
Mhm.
So he's getting there. Favorite breed aside from Huskies? That's pretty good. Ernest Scared Stupid was, as a kid, I thought that was kind of creepy. It was more like a Goosebumps creepy, not like I'm scared creepy. Riley says he gets easily traumatized. Well, if you've been in protective services and all that other stuff, I'm not going to ask you about that. Obviously, I don't want to get too public with things like that. But one of my kids had an issue with family not caring for him in a different area, and he was put. He's now graduated high school and married. He's in the Army. He's 19 years old now, but
He's in the
he
military.
I think spent about a year,
A year and a half in protective services.
Protective services, foster homes, transferring like that, while I tried to fight to get custody back of him. So I kind of understand all that. You definitely have my sympathy there. What film did Stephen King direct?
He partially directed Kingdom Hospital. Rose Red was entirely him.
Right, Rose Red was great. Maximum Overdrive.
That was such a shitty
I know.
movie. It was like such an 80s shitty movie, but it was still good. It was like
I know.
so B movie.
It was good, bad, good, bad, good, bad.
Emilio Estevez as, you know, a gas jockey type thing, and like all this shit happens. It's totally an 80s movie.
Yeah, I'm checking IMDb for his director stuff.
You could never get away with that now. It would be like, no, that's okay. We're not going to have you direct anything. We'll have you write it, and then you like produce it.
But then you only have so much opinion in it.
Yeah.
You can't be too much of an ass about changes to be made to the
Pretty
filming.
much. I have anxiety issues. Well, sorry, Radley. You know, we do what we can.
The only one he was actually directing on was Maximum Overdrive, but he is a producer on Doctor Sleep currently. Will not be released until 2020. Mr. Mercedes series, Castle Rock, 11/22/63 miniseries, which was actually pretty good. Under the Dome, which was great. Desperation, Riding the Bullet, great. Kingdom Hospital, amazing. I liked it. Rose Red, perfect. Stop. For what he was capable of at those times, it was great. The Shining, good. The Shining miniseries was pretty good, but not as good as the other. The Stand and Golden Years.
If we're talking about Stephen King,
okay,
I have one thing to say,
uh-huh.
and you cannot rebut me anywhere whatsoever. Special effects in the Langolier.
What do you mean, good, bad? I don't know how to respond until you tell me what you mean.
Absolute shit.
Okay. Not gonna rebut you at all.
Absolute
not
shit.
A little, not even a little.
Interesting story. Absolute shit, like performance of anybody. We have Bronson Pinot, whatever the fuck his name was, for that TV show that he was on as the main villain. It's like, why even bother? Oh no, I'm flipping out. Bye.
Right?
I'm gonna run towards them. By far, my favorite director for horror movies and sci-fi movies is John Carpenter. Does really good cerebral stuff where you're like, I don't know exactly what's going on. The movie's good, but I'm not entirely sure of what the fuck is going on right now.
Yeah,
The Thing
was talking about Maximum Overdrive, and he said he hates the book and it was better than all the film and TV adaptations. A lot of that happens, though. When you've got a great imagination and you like reading, that's going to happen a lot. You get a great image of something when you read it first, and then you try and go and like watch a film adaptation or something else, and it just doesn't come out the way that you think it was.
I love The Dark Tower from Stephen King. I love the entire story, the way it resets everything.
Yeah.
I will not watch the movie. They fucked it up.
We're not getting into the details or why.
From what I've seen, they fucked it up.
So
I will not watch it.
I'm going to watch it and try and watch it divorced completely from the stories. I have read all of The Dark Tower, every single book, all the way through. I've tried to make as many connections as I can between that and all of his short stories and books. If you guys don't know what The Dark Tower is, aside from the series
it's
or movies
Stephen King's linchpin.
Stephen King's linchpin for all of his work over his entire life. It's a series of books that inside there are characters, lines, and events that connect every single bit of thought that Stephen King has ever had. And it's amazing, and it's cohesive, and it's interesting. So if you like reading, go read The Dark Tower and try to have that be separate from
Salem's
what you're
Lot
watching.
incorporated into it. You have Hearts in Atlantis incorporated into it. You have various little like novels that he does that it's like one paragraph about Roland, who gets incorporated into it. He started it when he was 19. That was when his first book, The Dark Tower, was published.
For the first book, and then it took years for them to continue.
We're talking like 40 years of him mentally connecting things, collecting things, and also doing other stuff.
You have to be supremely intelligent to be able to keep track of stuff like that, even if he had help. That's amazing. So anyway, we're going to move on from that. Let them think on that. Who remembers Beetlejuice? Beetlejuice was pretty good. As a kid, I loved that movie.
Beetlejuice.
That's twice now. We're done. Nothing But Trouble was a great comedy horror movie from Fuck Google. Need to watch Trick or Treat. I think I did watch Trick or Treat. I don't remember much about it.
That's the one with the guy with the like head that was a pumpkin.
Pumpkin, yeah.
Oh,
What?
something you guys have not seen because it's out of circulation. Clive Barker, Rawhead Rex.
Oh.
Wackaroni did a review on this movie. And he said he was going to, and I was like, oh, I've seen that. And he's like, what? I've seen that like 10 years ago. Cabal, which is now labeled as Nightbreed, he's done a director cut of the movie, which makes it more cohesive.
Right.
So those are two really good ones. Also, if you like Clive Barker stuff, look up Dread.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one, too.
Dread follows exactly how Clive Barker wrote it out. It's really fucked up.
Okay, so we've got, it's not a horror, but it's a classic. Who remembers the film Legend of Billie Jean? I remember that I've seen it. I don't remember a lot about it. As you guys get to know me, in addition to Rooks, you'll realize that my memory is really bad. I forget names, I forget faces, I forget events that happened today. And it's periodic. It's not like I have a short-term memory loss or something. It's just...
It's okay, we still love you.
Sometimes it's selective memory. Sometimes it's purposely selective, but most of the time it's not.
Sometimes she forgets entire conversations I had with her the other day, so...
Yeah. I can watch a movie repeatedly and forget what happened in the movie and enjoy it like it was the first time. That's the good part about forgetting things. He wishes he could do that. I can read a book and go through it and forget the main plot points and be able to enjoy it again. So that's pretty good. Renaissance, you should reread The Dark Tower, the first one, and continue. You really should. It's amazing.
Yeah.
If you like reading, there you go.
Even if you don't go through all the little branching points, like Salem's Lot with Father
Even
Callahan.
if you don't read all the other stories that are involved.
Just read
The actual
straight
story.
through the Dark Tower.
The story itself is amazing.
When you get to the
you don't
end, you're
even
just going to be like,
yeah.
wow, this is like so fucking amazing.
You know what's really scary? If you look in the nonfiction section DVDs library, you'll find The Secret. I don't know about that one, so I can't really comment on it. I think that would be interesting to find out. Yo, Ari Philipperos. Yeah, it's horror. Welcome. Okay, Wackaroni is awesome, by the way. Yes, we know.
Yeah, he is. He does
Child's Play 2 again.
movie reviews, also games. Like right now, he's doing Donkey Kong Country 2.
Riley, you may change your mind as you get a little older. Just keep that in the back of your head if you get to a point where even reading on electronic media is okay. You don't have to have the book in front of you. You can do it on like ebooks or something later on. If you get into a point where you're reading or you're interested, keep that in the back of your head then. Make that one of your goals. I'm going to go and see
I've
if
got
I missed
movies
any other
in my
movies on
head
different
that
lists.
nobody should watch. Like ever. That I've watched.
Let's see. The Babadook we already said. That
Black
one
we
was
already
good.
said.
The Woman in Black was mentioned earlier. It is on a different list.
Yep.
The Evil Dead, the original. There's also Ash vs. Evil Dead, which is a current
TV show,
a series, and it's just as funny and
We've only
creepy
seen
and
the
funny,
first
like,
2
bloody.
seasons, but it follows it, and it's more campy and
It's
like
funny. It's great.
the movies are. I haven't seen the 3rd season, but
It is technically a horror movie because it's, supernatural things happening, and it's very gory and bloody. But it's like overly gory, where it's like, oh, that's not really real. It's just very, very bright red blood and everywhere.
I do wish that Sam Raimi stuck to action horror things,
Yeah, I agree.
Versus-
Silent Hill was on here too.
branching out into doing Spider-Man and whatnot. Spider-Man was okay,
But not as great as his other ones. Not
um,
nearly as good. Mama. That's on there.
let's just be clear here. Venom is out by Sony. I already think
Bye, Renaissance. Thank you. We're not going to stay too much longer anyway. You're not missing much. Have a great night.
I know what the storyline is, but the way Sony treated the last Venom movie was absolute shit, which was the whole symbiote thing. It was like so painful watching that movie.
The other ones that's on the list here is The Thing.
That's a
did agree
great
that
fucking
that should
movie.
be on there. Yeah, that should be on the
John
list.
Carpenter movies are the fucking bomb.
They are. They're good.
Cloverfield, fuck that movie.
Cloverfield was, it's got a few moments of hit or miss, and you're either going to love the movie or you're going to hate the movie. I just didn't really like it very much. The
I hate
monsters
the
weren't
movie.
that scary. I didn't like the filmography. It wasn't
Giant
great.
praying mantis.
Yeah, it's just not that great for me.
The new one that's on Netflix kind of explains shit, so it's more interesting than
It's-
the first one.
The Cloverfield something
The Cloverfield like experiment.
or something. Yeah, but it's not really about that. It's not referring to the movie at all. It's not like a sequel. It's different and better. It's not like the Cloverfield and the Cloverfield experiment
Well,
is a sequel directly. It's separate story, but good.
It follows the line of the other two movies,
Mm-hmm.
and what they do on the space station causes reality to fucking shift, which causes Cloverfield 1.
Maisie says you need to watch Let Me In. It's on Netflix. We've already watched Let Me In. We went to the theater for that one.
Watch
Twice.
the original and that one.
Yeah, they're actually very good. We agree. The Town That Dreaded Sundown is on here, but I have not seen that. The Exorcist was already on the other list. Wolf Creek, I did not think that was that bad.
It wasn't that bad.
And the last two on this list are actually older, but I agree with them entirely. Humanoids from the Deep. For the time, in the 80s,
For
that
the
was pretty
time,
good. Nosferatu, the original vampire movie from what year was it? 1922. It's black and white, it's silent, it's creepy.
made you watch it.
He did make me watch it.
Also made her watch Metropolis.
Which
and
is great, you guys.
not just the regular version, but the recreated,
Ahoy,
re-
Fire Lily.
restringed version that has like 2
Surprised
and
they
like
weren't mentioned
40
yet.
minutes in, and she's just like,
I
okay.
was glued to the damn screen for
Yeah.
Metropolis. That was a good one. Even though it's not a real horror movie, it's more like
Sci-fi.
it's a sci-fi, economical and social mental thriller.
Yeah, it is.
So about like that way.
Yeah. Made
Let
in
Me
like
where it said, okay,
19...
Eraserhead. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Eraser's fucked. Any of David Cronenberg's movies are like,
Pretty good.
they're
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
eh.
Human Centipede. That's more of a fucked up visually and mentally, more than like horror to me. I think that it's the original one at the very least, the Human Centipede. That one was shocking in its nature right there. You know, it got so much shock value because we hadn't seen anybody putting mouth to ass and doing these scientific
All right.
experiments.
You
That
don't
was
want
really
something
good.
that's like really fucked up that doesn't take like a lot of mind power to see that it's fucked up. Watch Begotten.
Begotten.
You can find it anywhere. It's a short little art film. It's probably about like 20 minutes long. If you don't think that's fucked up, then go find the Serbian film, because that is really fucked up. I've watched it. I don't inflict that on anybody that I know because it is really, really, really bad.
Yeah. Riley says he went to go see the new Jurassic World in August. Was the last time he went out to the movie theaters. DOA, you want to see all 3 Human Centipede films? I've already seen all 3 of them. So they are just as gory and interesting in their own way as the first one, but they're not as shocking because the first one had already been done.
Yeah, the first one was the worst, and then you kind of get used to it.
The second one is based on a man who saw the first movie and thought that it was physically possible, and he's a little mentally disabled. So he performs the experiment on his own in private, and he's not rich, he's not anything like that. So you go through his experience of trying to do that. It's fucked up because he's mentally disabled and he can't properly care for them, so that's really fucked up. But yeah, they are on their own terms good.
Okay.
We're gonna be ready to wrap it up.
Yep.
Thank you guys for joining us tonight and sharing.
Couple of minutes.
In a couple minutes.
Yeah.
For what? What do you want to talk about?
So you primarily know what like horror movies I watch, right?
Yeah.
So it's October.
Yeah.
Your birthday's on Sunday.
Yeah.
I made you cheesecake, which you love.
Yes, he made me his homemade cheesecake, which takes a long time and has to set for 2 days in the fridge before I can eat it.
What kind of horror movie were you like really ecstatic about when you were watching it?
I don't know which one you're talking about.
what kind of horror movie did you like want to jump up in your seat if we watch it at the theater or here and be like ecstatic about something happening? We watch a lot of horror and you're kind of like
I know, that's why I'm like, some of them
desensitized.
I'm desensitized to, so I don't know exactly what you're asking. So you know the answer that I would give. So what are you looking for?
I don't know the answer you're gonna get.
Oh, I thought you were looking for me to like specifically say something. I think that I get more giddy with people who deserve to be punished now, like a great kill, like The Purge, that kind of thing. I think that's what gets me excited in a horror film. Now, what gets me scared is completely different,
Yeah.
but that makes me excited. That makes me jump up and down.
Do you remember when we saw? Go ahead.
No, you tell it. I'm trying to make sure I didn't miss any things.
So, we saw the first one in the theater, and when one of the people
What's going on with my...
grabbed the thing off the back of the toilet and fucking hit somebody with it, I jumped up in my seat and I was like,
Yeah!
Fuck yeah!
Dad's asleep.
Sorry.
It's okay. Yeah, he was excited. I think that he's rubbed off a little bit on me over the years, so I think that that's something that I
like,
enjoy.
Totally accepted horror like after we were together, and you're just like, oh, did you see this one? I watched this and it's like super creepy, like your American Horror thing. It's all about Trump.
Okay, fuck Google says if the bad guy in Human Centipede did things smart, he would make his creation only have a stomach in the back, and all the circulatory systems would be connected at the jugular. No. See, that's what makes it the most fucked up. It's not about being smart. It's about forcing the digestive system to process all of the things that you waste through one person to the next. There are things that we do not digest through the first digestion, and it comes out in our excrete. So the point is the horror of being connected and having to have that from the person in front of you. That's the bad part of it. So it's not about being smart, it's what would be the most messed up to put into the script, and that's why they did it that way. So, yeah. Rather watch them before you watched Saw, ever. Yeah, Saw, there's so many of them, but Saw is always outdoing itself in a different way, either the story or something else. He would have his creation longer, and he wanted a pet. Yeah, but it's not just about the guy's motivation. It's also a movie.
Google,
they had to think about it.
You're thinking too much into this, and you need to stop.
Remember, it's a movie. Don't think about it that hard. They just needed to entertain the audience. It's not about what would have succeeded or anything like that. It's just to make the audience cringe. That was all it was. Jorge Lost Star, look at you. Our daughter just signed in right as we're about to sign off. Love you, baby. We have covered a lot of movies tonight. We're going to keep the stream on after we're done so people can watch it later.
If you ever watched The Thing, watch the newer one.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's before that, and it actually makes more sense. It's like one of the few movies that was made after something
right
that made sense, and it goes into detail.
Coincided with it, yeah.
I watched it, I was like, oh, well, this totally fucking makes sense now. With when the dog's running out and the helicopter's chasing it, it makes a really good like sense point when you've watched the first part of it.
Okay. Well, Lost Star, I think that you should watch this video after we've posted it so you can see what the questions are, and post your answers in the bottom, Lost Star, or anybody else who is watching this video after it's been posted. Please post your answers to the multiple questions we've asked. What was your most horrific childhood horror movie that made you have nightmares or not want to go to bed at all? What was your favorite horror movie of all times? And anything that you think recommend people to be as a classic or want to watch in the future for horror. So thank you so much, you guys. Have a wonderful night, and thank you for everybody who's shown up. What are you doing?
Davin.
That's probably the horror action of the season. Bye, guys. Have a great night and enjoy yourselves this Halloween.